Hello everyone, welcome to the review about our workshop, which was about Porter's 5 forces, and my name is Moritz and I'm a coffee addict.
Well, my name is Francisco, I'm also a coffee addict, and this is our team. We conducted the workshop, maybe you remember.
Okay. My name is Paula, and as you all know, I'm a sport addicted.
Hi, my name is Tony, and I'm not that special.
Well, yeah, we're making this video to help you study for your exam at the end of the module. As you know, the Porter's 5 forces model is to identify the attractiveness of a market in order to know whether it's attractive to invest in or not. So we're going to explain the 5 forces of Porter, and these 5 forces are written here on the board. I don't know if you can see them there. It's the threat of entry, the industry rivalry, the threat of substitutes, the power of buyers, and the power of suppliers. So I'm going to start with my force. My force is power of suppliers. And well, power suppliers means the power that your suppliers have on your strategy. So let's say we made an example on the workshop that was about a low-cost carrier airline. And in our example, we're going to invest in the airline industry, making a new airline which was low-cost carrier. And well, yeah, as a supplier of aircraft, you have Boeing and you have Airbus. So well, there's not many buyers to shop around, so they actually have a very high power, and that means that it's not so attractive in this aspect, especially because you have to buy from them and they can just set any price that they want and you just have to stick to it. Now let's move on to the next force, that's the threat of entry.
Okay, when you look at the threat of entry, you look at the barriers you have when you get into a new market. So in our case, the threat of getting into the barriers of getting into the low-cost carrier market. One most important is you have to look at scale and experience. So in our case, we have Ryanair and EasyJet, everyone knows them, and both of them are very old. So they have experience. For example, Ryanair was established 32 years ago. So their experience is very high. Also, when you look at the scale, Ryanair has about 320 aircrafts they already use. So if you would now try to get into the low-cost carrier market, then it will be really hard because you need to invest a lot of money into planes. And only one plane costs it starts with 90 million but goes up to 250 million just for one. So you can imagine starting in that industry has many risks.
Okay, so now coming to the power of buyers regarding the low-cost carrier industry. For example, the airline we had in our workshop, Stenden Air, if it wants to enter the market, the power of buyers is really high because the low-cost carrier airlines don't have customer loyalty, so the customers do not have high switching costs, and therefore they can choose whatever airline they want when they are searching for the lowest ticket price. So, just to sum it up, the power of buyers is very high in the low-cost carrier industry. Done.
Coming to the next one, which is the threat of substitutes. There are 2 different types of threats for substitutes. The first one is the price-quality threat, which is from within the same industry, a product that has a higher price but also better quality. However, for us, only the second threat is important, or is more important. It's the industry effect, and that means that the substitute comes from outside the industry. In this case, it's, for example, the low-cost buses that drive around Europe, such as Flixbus or Megabus, which is also becoming a Flixbus soon. So they have cheaper prices mostly and are therefore a higher threat for Ryanair or our company Stenden Air. That means the threat of substitutes is high in this case.
Well, now moving on to the 5th force, the industry rivalry. The industry rivalry is the competition that exists now in the current market. So for example, in the airline industry, there's one very hard competition between Air France and British Airways because they both compete in the same industry and in the same markets. If you move on to the low-cost carriers, it's actually very low because there's two main competitors, which are Ryanair and EasyJet, but they both compete in different routes and they both have different markets. Now, if you were entering a new market in the low-cost carrying, you would have to take either routes that are taken by Ryanair or by EasyJet, and that would mean that the competitive rivalry against you would be very high. Yeah, that was that for the industry rivalry. Thank you very much for your attention.
If you want to read our text about Stenden Air again, you can just find it on Blackboard. It will stay there till the end of the module. Now, if you liked our video, please subscribe here and leave us a like here.